Today, let's go over some free sewing patterns for June. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today we are doing free sewing patterns for June that all relate to summer activities such as going to the pool or gardening in your yard. So let's get started with some of these fun ideas. The first is the sewing a wet swimsuit bag. What I loved about this is you can do it on your home sewing machine and it seems really useful. So once you click that link, you're just going to be taken to this blog post. She has a lot of different information as well as ways as to why you may need them. I also like that you could use this potentially as like a gym bag, but she talks about how this could also be good for families or for toiletries. There is a video that walks you step by step through, and then she talks about all the items that you will need. So all of these links, they do take you to the supply as well. They do look like affiliate links that go to her, but again, this is just a way for you to figure out what you would need. And then she provides different tips and how to cut out your fabric, how to walk through it, very step by step of going through the entire process. So this looks really helpful and useful. I really liked how she had so many details into it, and this does look like a very beginner friendly project, even though there is that zipper. She walks you especially through how to use the zipper and some little tips to make it easier to sew and work with. And then there is some little tabs that she adds, but I think that this is a really fun project for summer that you could use over and over again. And then especially if you have kids or anything to do swim team, then you could also have this for them. So really wanted to share this, but I think that this could be a very fun little summer project since she has so many different instructions. She also includes how to wash it, which I thought that was nice because it's probably going to be getting dirty. So she talks about the maintenance of the bag too. So now going back to our other patterns, the next one I have up is another pool item, and it is this fun mesh bag. So I partly really like this one because I actually have this mesh fabric that came in a mystery box, so I am going to be trying to make this. But she walks you through how you can make your own mesh bag to hold pool toys, really anything that's going to get wet. So like I'm thinking I'm probably going to be using this for goggles, sunscreen, just like the items I bring to the pool, I'm going to be putting in this bag. And then she shows you how you can cut this out. She even shows how you can cut out that perfect circle, which I know is really helpful and I love making those. And then she just walks you through step by step on how you can put this together. At the top, she did include information on where you can get this fabric. She said that her mesh fabric was a little bit more expensive. Again, I got mine in a mystery box, so I'm not sure if that's true. I'll try to look it up though when I do my own video on it to see if I can find some cheaper alternatives. And then she does use a buttonhole to kind of add the spot for where the drawstring will go through. So I thought that that was a really fun little touch and a great way to add that so that you make sure that there's a lot of support and it's secure. Then she has all these different pictures, so I do think that this would be a beginner friendly project and could be a great way to learn how to do buttonholes, but this seemed like another good summer project to try. So next up on our free patterns, we have this fun little wrap skirt. I think that this would be really good for the summer. You could go to a pool if you're going to a resort, but this seemed really quick, really easy, and there was no pattern pieces involved, which is also really why I liked it. She talks about how much fabric she used, but I think that she does also go into how big or small you would want it. And then she walks you through step by step on how she made it, how she added those curves to it, and then there is a tie that she has at the top. She does talk a little bit about adding the dart, but a lot of information is here and this is entirely free. So I think that this could be a great way to try out making your own little wrap skirt. And then I really liked that she did have that lining for it so that it's something that's not going to be too see-through by any means. So this could be a really fun little skirt to take to a resort or if you go on vacation or just lounging around your local pool. So next up, we are continuing with this fun reversible sun hat. So if you are outside this summer, you want to keep your face and skin protected from the sun. Now I will say the pattern for this hat probably does not fall in the beginner category. She even labels it as intermediate, and as you will see, there are a lot of steps to it, but this is a very secure, nice hat. So I think that is something where, if you have the sewing skills and you want to make your own big floppy sun hat, this could be a great option. She even includes so many different sizes, and each one of these is completely free. If you click on the link after you measure your head, you can walk through and you get all the pattern pieces. So it is very detailed, very well done. But just remember that this may not be the greatest beginner friendly pattern. This is going to be something that after you have a little bit of sewing experience to try. There are also 3 separate blog posts that she did on this. So one's just all about prepping your fabric, the second is about sewing the hat, and then the third is more about putting everything together. So I think that that was a really great way, because you could do this maybe in like 3 different stages depending on your time allowance, or you could do it all at once. But she has a lot of pictures, a lot of detailed instructions on how to put it together. So I do think that, overall this was very well done, just because there are so many steps. You're using felt, and this is all sewing on a curve, that for somebody who's a brand new beginner, this could be a large undertaking. But if you really want a sun hat, this could be a great alternative, and it does look like it has a nice wide coverage, so you're keeping your skin safe. Now we are moving on to some gardening items. So the first is this DIY gardening apron. I thought this looked perfect. I know a lot of people who love to garden, and I liked how this had so many pockets and a place to store your tools. So this had step-by-step instructions on how to do that. I will say you do have to scroll down to the bottom to this pink link that says DIY gardening apron. So this is one of those sites where it has another blog post sort of like included on it. So once you click that link, you're then taken to the entire full blog post. This one did have quite a few ads just as something to take into account with it, but she walks you through all the supplies that you're going to need, the tools, and then how to cut everything out for the fabric as well as the pattern fabric on the front. So there's 2 different types of fabric going on. There are not as many pictures, so this one is definitely more of just the steps. There was also not really a video to go along with it, so I would say that if you are more of a visual learner, this may not be the best pattern for you, but if you really want a gardening apron, this was here. Then last but not least, we have these DIY fabric grow bags. So the idea behind this is if you had a plant that you're not ready to put into the ground yet, but you want it to grow a little bit more, is this like a temporary pot solution. So for this, she did use cotton, but even in her blog post, that's just like a one-time use. I think if you use like a waterproof canvas, these could hold up really well, but she has step-by-step instructions on how you can put this together. It looks really quick, looks really easy. So I think that this could be a really fun alternative if you are looking for something just to house some of your plants for the summer. And then of course I would use probably a waterproof material just so that you can use it multiple times again. But this looked like a very fast little gardening DIY. So let me know which of these patterns you're most excited about and you're going to be trying out. I definitely think I'm going to be making some of the ones for the pool, and then maybe those DIY fabric grow bags. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.